In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA Finals showdown slate on DraftKings, game number 4 between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for our NBA Finals Game 4 showdown slate on DraftKings between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. But before I deep dive into this crucial game number 4 here, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon, where we're going to have MLB bets on a daily basis. We have DFS to finish off the NBA Finals for NBA. And we're going to get you guys ready for best ball and fantasy football drafts. All that's provided in that link down below. Get signed up now so you're ready for the rest of the next couple of months, all right? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to start off with the injury report. Very simple and small injury report. Miami Heat are just waiting for Tyler Hero. The doubt, most likely he's not going to play this series, all right? Just continue to just watch the news just in case if you hear anything else about Tyler Hero getting into this series, okay? So right now he did not want to mess with the chemistry, so that's the latest report, and he's seeing soreness in his wrist, okay? So most likely he's not going to be coming through into the series, but if he does, just pay attention to Roto World, Roto Wire, or Underdog Fantasy NBA. All those are great sources for up-to-date NBA news, okay? Now, let's get into the captains. We're going to start off with Jamal Murray. I'm gonna stop moving him down to utility, okay? Every time I try to be a little kind of cute, you know what? I think this is the game. He just comes through and takes it to a whole nother level, all right? Obviously, the top play of Game 3 was Nikola Jokic. He had an insane triple-double, but Jamal Murray wasn't far behind. He had a triple-double as well, 66 fantasy points right there. And they came out and proved that they wanted to bounce back from that Game 2 loss, and the shots that he was missing in Game 2 he made in Game 3. Took 22 shot attempts there, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. That was the killer. The rebounds was the killer for the Miami Heat. Huge discrepancy, around 19 rebounds difference, and that's that. You can't win, all right? If you're not getting rebounds and you're not making your threes, then you're going to get blown out, and that's what happened in Game 3. Jamal Murray is looking like a very consistent player. As you can see, 3 out of the last 5 games, over 50 fantasy points. That's what you want to see out of your stud in Jamal Murray. He's going to be one of those captains we can go towards in Game 4. Next captain will be obviously Nikola Jokic. We're going back to this well each and every time. Nikola Jokic is one of our higher top tier candidates at captain, and he proved it yet again. 32, 21, and you can't have Jokic get 20 rebounds, okay? You can't have him get 10 assists, and you can't have him get 20 rebounds, okay? And that's what happened. So they totally took over and dominated the Miami Heat. They looked okay in that first half, but then that third quarter and fourth quarter, they took it to a whole nother level and put their foot on the gas, and you saw the Nuggets really pull away from the Miami Heat. So obviously, Nikola Jokic is in another stud spot here. He's just going to have to get his. You can't stop him. You got to try to get everyone else and let Jokic do what he does scoring-wise. You can't let him impact and get other guys going, okay? That's going to be the key initiative for the Miami Heat in Game 4. We'll see what happens, but Jokic is in a great spot yet again in Game 4 to have another solid performance at captain, all right? Jimmy Butler is our third captain that we're going to be looking towards. He's looking like he's cooking a little bit, all right? Game 1, 13 points. Game 2, 21 points. Game 3, 28 points. We need aggressive Jimmy Butler. balls to the wall. He's going to have to give it his all. Coming up very soon, all right? You do not want to go down in a 3-1 hole, and you don't want to lose both of your home games. That's another key initiative here. But I like the fact that I saw Jimmy Butler knock down more of his shots. This is his best shooting performance out of all the 3 games, all right? Around 46% shooting in this particular game. Nice shot attempts at the basket. I saw a couple of those jumpers fall in as well. His worst performance from 3, but hey, he's not really a 3-point shooter. Jimmy Butler here, I think he's going to take it to a whole nother level in this next game. We should expect around 28 to 30 plus points. All right, Jimmy Butler's going to have to do that to push this team towards a win. All right, so Jimmy Butler is our 3rd captain selection. Let's move on to our 4th, and it's been the most consistent Miami Heat here, and that is Bam Adebayo. All right, Bam Adebayo has continued his dominance against Nikola Jokic. As you can see in the past 5 games, over 43 fantasy points, and then game 3 he had 51.25. He rebounded very well, 17 rebounds, 22 points, 3 assists. He did what he had to do. The cast of characters did not come through for the Miami Heat to help them in that rebounding department. They all gotta want it. It's gonna have to be Gabe coming in with a couple rebounds, Strus, Kevin Love, Jimmy Butler. Everyone's going to have to come through. It's a team effort when it comes to rebounding, all right? That was the main issue for the Miami Heat, but Bam did solidly, and he's going to be continually going over his overs, all right? So continue to, if you want to do props, continue to go back to the well to Bam Adebayo, over 20 points, over 10 rebounds. He's going to be very important, and he has to be consistent for the Miami Heat to be competitive in these games, all right? So I like him as our 4th and final captain. Let's move on to our flex plays, where we're going to have a bunch of guys here coming up for our util spots. On to our flex and util options here. We're going to have a laundry list of guys between Denver and Miami, because it seems like they're taking turns. If it's Miami, it could be a Caleb Martin game one day. It could be a Duncan Robinson game another day. For Denver, it could be Christian Brown. It could be Michael Porter Jr. It could be, not really Jeff Green, but there's going to be an alteration each and every game. That's what I'm noticing. So the first guy we're going to be talking about will be Max Strus. Max Strus of the Miami Heat here is at a very nice cheap salary of $4,400. He has the opportunity to go off in this next particular game at home. We know what role players do. They tend to play better. He shot poorly in game 1, came back in game 2, shot poorly in game 3. What are we going to see in game number 4? Max Strus needs to step up. Hopefully he can knock down his threes, all right? Almost just as bad as 0 for 10 is 1 for 7, essentially. So Max Strus is in a bounce back mode here. Look for him to make some of his threes in game number 4, right? If you're looking at props, take that over 1.5, okay? Next, we're talking about Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin finally bounced back from a stretch of poor performances here. We had 2 games in a row of Caleb Martin not showing up. So he came up in game 3, got more minutes there. That was a plus. Maybe we see more of that going into game number 3 here. Caleb Martin getting more minutes here, but that's probably predicated to the fact that Gabe Vincent got into some foul trouble early and they needed to lean on Caleb Martin coming off the bench. All right, those are 2 factors there. All right, so Caleb Martin finally knocked down some shots, scored 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, was pretty efficient in his minutes. We're looking for a little bit more scoring from him because he did have some big blow spots in that Boston series. So he's fully capable. He's been doing it all playoffs long. So do not sleep on Caleb Martin as a util play, all right? Next guy we're going to be talking about will be Gabe Vincent, all right? He has the capabilities of being a captain, all right? But in foul trouble early in that first half, kind of messed up his whole entire flow and shot 2 of 10. This is his worst performance all playoffs long. 1 of 6 from that 3-point line. He's been super consistent each and every game, and this was his absolute worst performance. He basically didn't even need to play. All right, so Gabe Vincent was pretty bad, and if he bounces back in this one, we'll see a more competitive Miami Heat. All right. Gabe Vincent is a very important factor in this Heat offense here to be that number 3 or 4 guy to help alongside of Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. Gabe Vincent is super, super important, okay? So this 11 fantasy point game is an anomaly, all right? We're used to seeing him score 10, 15, and can even score 20 points in a game. He's a very efficient jump shooter and 3-point shooter as well. As you can see, these numbers 4 of 6, 5 of 10, 2 of 3, 3 of 6. All right, he's 6 of 9, 3 of 5. He can go off. All right, so we're gonna expect that in game number 4 is a must-win scenario here for Miami Heat at home. So expect Gabe Vincent to bounce back. Next player for that Miami Heat will be Kevin Love. All right, Kevin Love thrusted into that starting lineup. Okay, he needs to come through with rebounds. All right, if you want to put in Kevin Love and it's about size, he needs to be a big factor on the boards. He did in game 2 with 10 rebounds. In game 3, his next game, he only had 2 rebounds. That is not what we need from Kevin Love. Kevin Love needs to bounce back. He can come with a handful of points. That is fine. But your main objective to have Kevin Love on the court is to be a huge factor getting the offensive and defensive rebounds. That's what the upside we're looking for Kevin Love at. And if he chips in a couple more points, there is upside for double-double. All right, so Kevin Love is going to be one of our cheaper values at util spot. Let's look at some of the Denver guys for our flex and util options. The first guy we're going to be talking about will be Bruce Brown. All right, Bruce Brown has been super consistent, just like Caleb Martin. Bruce Brown has been right there, being productive, coming off the bench. Had a down game in game 3, only 5 points, but did factor in defensively, all right? If he's not scoring, he's either coming up with assists, he's coming up with rebounds. But this particular game, he came up with 3 blocks, 3 huge blocks against Bam Adebayo and some other guys going to the rim. So that was a big factor there. Bruce Brown has solid upside as a util play for the Denver Nuggets. All right, the next guy we're going to be talking about will be Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is mostly predicated on, is he going to be able to score? He's going to get 30 plus minutes easily, all right? Can Aaron Gordon provide upside scoring, all right? He came through solidly with a double-double, 11, 10, and 5 assists, all right? What did I say? Getting other guys involved. You can't have that. And Aaron Gordon was a big factor offensively and defensively, all right? So you can't have a double-double from Aaron Gordon if you're the Miami Heat. But in this scenario, we're doing util and flex options. Aaron Gordon has upside because he's going to get a ton of minutes. Number 1, he's going to be a factor rebounding. As you can see, he had 7, 6 on the past 2 previous games. He can chip in with a couple assists here and there. He's one of the main guys coming down in fast break opportunities to finish at the rim. And when the Miami Heat are in zone, he's going to be the cutter slashing to that basket, leaving with Nikola Jokic having to make a decision. Is he going to shoot or he's going to pass it one more time for an easier shot for his teammate? And Aaron Gordon is usually that beneficiary, all right? So he did solidly in game 3. Hopefully he can come through again at his current salary at a util, all right? Next player we're going to be talking about is Michael Porter Jr. He's been poor majority of this entire season, all right? That's why I bumped him down so far. And MPJ was reliable in the previous series against LA and Phoenix, but now against Miami, him and KCP are complete zeros, essentially, especially for their price. All right, Michael Porter Jr. has still not found his shooting stroke in all 3 of these games, okay? 5 of 16, 2 of 8, 1 of 7. That's what Michael Porter Jr. has been doing. Usually you can rely on him with the rebounds. You kind of can, but the factor is he's not knocking down his shots, has no confidence right now. So we'll see if he can bounce back. If you want to take that shot on him, you can. He does have the upside to going over 30 plus fantasy points. As you can see, 38, 33, and 41 in those previous 3 games, okay? So Michael Porter Jr. has upside. Just want to warn you about him. He has not looked good in any of these games against Miami shooting wise, all right? And then last but not least, we have Christian Braun here, the rookie that they got from Kansas. He stepped up, all right? He stepped up hugely in game 3 with 23 fantasy points. He's kind of like the mold. If we're looking at the Miami team, this is really deep on the bench. Haywood, Highsmith, he had a couple games over 20 fantasy points. Christian Brown is something very similar. Efficient scoring because he's taking all layups essentially. But he came through with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. They cannot let that happen at all. At all. That was embarrassing to see from Miami defense. Christian Brown has been providing upside off the bench for the Denver Nuggets. And he's going to provide high energy. He's been kind of taking the minutes away from MPJ and been playing alongside Bruce Brown. So we'll see if that happens yet again, all right? If MPJ is playing well, you're going to see less of Chris Brown. If MPJ is playing poorly, you're going to see more of Christian Brown in those lineups, just to let you know, all right? So that is going to be our breakdown for game number 4. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're currently a viewer and not a subscriber, click that subscribe button right this second in support, and let us go to our next goal of 2,000 subscribers. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and peace out.